this debate. And somebody who knows a great deal about the subject is pollster and the president of the Word Doctors, also the author of the upcoming book, What Americans Really Want. Really, the truth about our hopes, our dreams, and fears. Frank Luntz is back with us. Really, Frank? Welcome back.
I'm really back, Sean.
All right, now...
Hey, can I ask you...
Yes, go ahead.
There's something that came up. The language that you used before, you're calling it a public option, which is what the White House calls it. Are you sure it isn't a government option? It's sponsored by the government. It's paid for by the government. It's one of the most important points in this entire debate. If you call it a public option, the American people are split. If you call it the government option, the public is overwhelmingly against it.
You know what? It's a great point, and from now on, I'm going to call it the government option because that's what it is. I mean, it's the public option, but it's known the vernacular that's been used pretty much in the press has been that option. So that's a great point. Now, we spent time with our own little town hall last week. And you spent time with people, and you did some dials for us. For example, we dialed, and we had people, you have these dials, and we had 15 people that supported Barack Obama, 14 that had voted for John McCain, and you dialed a part of Barack Obama's speech on the issue of health care. Why don't you set it up for us?
Well, what happens is when Obama speaks naturally, the Democratic line, the Obama line goes up, the Republican line goes down. But here's an example where the Republicans initially react favorably, but when Obama finishes his statement, boy, do Republicans not like it at all. Let's listen.
If you don't have health insurance, you will finally have quality, affordable options once we pass reform. If you do have health insurance, we will make sure that no insurance company or government bureaucrat gets between you and the care that you need. And we will do this without adding to our deficit over the next decade, largely by cutting out the waste and insurance company giveaways in Medicare that aren't making any of our seniors healthier.
You know what's amazing to me, Frank? This attack line against the insurance companies seems to work only with Democrats. Democrats believe in government. That's my read on it. Yours?
That's half of it, and the other half is that he's actually attacking Medicare. And that it's something that's really important for your audience, whether you're 65 or older, you've got parents who are 65 or older. Barack Obama, from this language, I've got the text, it's almost like he's declaring war on Medicare because it's the only way for him to be able to pay for health care. It's an interesting gambit, Sean, and I don't think it's going to work.
Has this attack against insurance companies been effective, saying this is, the evil insurance companies?
Honestly, yes, it has, because the American people don't like insurance company bureaucrats, and they don't like being turned down for care. But here's what's interesting. While the public doesn't like the insurance industry, they like their own health care plan. While they don't like the system globally, they think that it's working for them individually. And the polling that I've been watching over the last 6 weeks, more and more Americans are saying, you know what, my health care is good enough. I'm not sure I want to jeopardize it for this government plan.
All right, let's go back to his speech, and we'll take another look at reaction to more of what he was telling people in this speech.
That's what America's about, is we have a vigorous debate. That's why we have a democracy. But I do hope that we will talk with each other and not over each other. Because one of the objectives of democracy and debate is that we start refining our own views because maybe other people have different perspectives, things we didn't think of. Where we do disagree, let's disagree over things that are real, not these wild misrepresentations that bear no resemblance to anything that's actually been proposed.
You see the Republicans dip off dramatically at the end, but what's amazing to me, it's his party that's been attacking the people at town halls and, saying they're carrying swastikas and they're un-American. Frank, I find the words meaningful in as much as they're inaccurate.
Well, I do want to make the case for civility. We didn't like it, Republicans, I should say, didn't like it when Bush and Cheney were attacked, when people would scream out at town hall meetings when they were talking about the Iraqi war. And that Bill Clinton didn't like it when people came to his meetings and was shouting out at him in the second half of his administration. I think that this debate can and should be conducted in a civil and meaningful manner. That said, again, I point to the language, that not these wild misrepresentations. I've started to read the bill. They are talking about lowering the reimbursements from Medicare. That is not a misinterpretation. That is a fact. And every senior has the right to know exactly what will be paid for and what won't be. And every doctor, Sean, has the right to know whether they're going to be reimbursed for their service
Frank,
or not.
I've read the entire bill, all 1,018 pages of it, and not only that, they will tax small businesses that have a payroll of $250,000 or more if they don't go for the government option, to use your phraseology, then they're going to be punished. But I'm all for civility, Frank. But I don't think the grandmothers and the veterans and the stay-at-home moms that are expressing passion have been disrespectful. As a matter of fact, I think it's quintessentially American what we have witnessed here. I can't think of an instance where anyone really crossed a line that I think that was inappropriate. You know, it seems that the fact that the American people have spoken up has offended them.
Well, I think that they were surprised, that they did not expect there to be this public outcry. And we've seen this before. When catastrophic care was pushed in 1990 with Dan Rostenkowski, seniors took a look at the legislation, wrote up, if you remember, they attacked his car, and they tried to push the car over.
Well, that's
and I think we've seen that same kind of rebellion.
All right, let's go to the last one. Well, yeah, let me go to the last one.
Yeah.
We only have time for one more here. This is one more of the Frank dials.
Working families continue to bail out Wall Street banks. We pay mortgages for those who borrowed too much. We own General Motors. The federal deficit tripled in just 1 year. Where does it end? Now some want Washington to for health care. Government insurance means exploding taxpayer costs. There is a better way to health reform, with patients and doctors in charge, not government and insurance companies. Tell Harry Reid we can't afford government-run health care.
That really scared, but the Democrats, they had the Democrats for most of that ad. Why?
Because it was a positive ad that presented an alternative. Rather than either just defending or attacking, the ad gave an answer. Let's find a way to put doctors and patients in charge of their own health care. That's what the American people are asking for. And, Sean, that's one of the most effective ads so far in health care.
All right, Frank, good stuff. Appreciate it as always. We're going to continue to follow the ads in this debate. Frank Luntz. And when we come back,